Right, so this is recording. So, hi Jenna, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me today. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Um, so we're here to discuss your new film For Now. So would you mind telling us a little bit what the film's about and what character you play?
Sure. So I'm playing Jade, who's the lead role in this film. And it's really kind of a tongue-in-cheek play on romantic comedies and chick flicks in Hollywood. And I think it's actually, it's a story I can really relate to as well. It's Jade is a very type A person. She's very career driven. And she's been working very, very hard in her career, and things don't really go as planned. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think she learns a lot about herself and about love in this story. And I think a lot of young women can relate to this as well, especially as they, start careers and enter the working world and start having relationships. So it's very relatable, I think.
Do you relate to the character yourself as Jade? Like, do you think that you follow similar things to what she does, or do you see yourself in like different characters like Sophie and things? Because me personally, I would say I'm more of a Sophie than a Jade. I'm more of like, people come to me for advice rather than like the headstrong. Like I'm more of like the comforter rather than like the things that people's happening to. What would you say you are?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see a lot of myself in Jade. I think maybe how she deals with problems in life is different than how I would, but I'm definitely very headstrong. I've been told I'm type A personality, so I can kind of see myself in that. And yeah, I think I consider myself to be pretty high achieving and motivated, and I see a lot of that in Jade as well. So I can relate to the character in that way. Yeah.
So when you mentioned earlier about the like feminism and chick flicks and Hollywoods and stuff, do you still think that there is stereotypes now, like particularly in that genre of chick flicks?
Yeah, I do. Especially in Hollywood. I think there is a type in these roles, and they can be very flat, one-dimensional characters. And yeah, I think it can be difficult maybe for young women to look up to those characters or aspire to be like them when they're very flat. They're not very well developed. Yeah, and I think a lot of films perpetuate those stereotypes in movies as well. So,
Are
yeah.
you a fan of the chick flick romance genre, or is this like, have you acted in this before, or is it all new for you?
Yeah, no, I would still say I'm a fan. I do enjoy, my Mean Girls movies or Reese Witherspoon, films. So yeah, I still do enjoy them for what they are, for entertainment. And yeah, I grew up watching a lot of those films, like Clueless and Mean Girls, and films like this. So yeah, I mean, I still enjoy watching them. Yeah. So.
Have you played this type of role before, or is it like
That's a good question. Yeah, I think I've definitely been typecasted in this type of character type as well. But the storyline's been a little different maybe for other roles that I've played. But I've definitely played, yeah, like that all-American girl next door. That's definitely a type I've played before. Maybe not as headstrong or career driven, or confident maybe as Jade is. But yeah.
But due to COVID, and obviously guidelines and everything, it obviously wasn't be able to film it. So the trailer ended up being animated. How was the process for that? Like, what did you have to do? Was it a new experience, or, have you done animation before?
Yeah, so my role was a voiceover role, and that was definitely something I wanted to get into. I normally work in TV and film, so it's all, on camera. But it's been really interesting that COVID has opened up some new opportunities for me to be able to do voiceover roles. So actually, I've been able to work on a few different projects during the lockdown in a voiceover role such as this. And I've actually really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's a different way to portray a character. And yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to doing it again. Yeah, and it was also something I wanted to do even before the pandemic hit. So it's great that I've been given this opportunity to play it in a voiceover role. But it's a lot easier with your lines doing voiceover than acting on camera. So yeah, that's a plus.
Would you be willing, like, would you want to ever film it if the opportunity came up, or was it just like a strictly you auditioned thinking it was going to be a voiceover, so you would?
Oh yeah, I would be totally open to filming this. I think it's a really great story. Yeah, like I said, I can see myself playing that character, playing Jade, and to really bring that whole story to life in film, I think would be fun and a really great opportunity as well. But yeah, I think initially I did approach it as a voiceover role, but yeah, wouldn't be opposed to filming it.
Yeah, nice. Would you consider yourself a hopeless romantic? Obviously, the film's about, she's this career-driven woman, but a main element in it is the relationship between her and Adam.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the romance element of it?
I think a lot of young girls can relate to that romance storyline. I think, yeah, I would call myself a romantic. I think I can easily fall for people in relationships. And I think it's very disarming for Jade. She views herself a certain way. Her identity is very much wrapped up in her career. And I think, yeah, a relationship can be really disarming. It can kind of unsettle you a bit. And I think maybe she perceives herself a different way too in a relationship versus like herself just in her career. So yeah, I can relate to that a bit. And I definitely would call myself a romantic. I still cry when I watch like The Notebook and other films like that. So
it gets me every single time.
Yeah.
was thinking it's sort of similar to Legally Blonde in the fact that, she's basing her life around this career, and the relationship is more of sort of an add-on. Like it's sort of like her whole life is the relationship. It's like she's got her life and that's just like a bonus sort of thing, which it isn't. I think that's important because a lot of them, like Mean Girls, for example, like it's an amazing film now, and like you can critique it looking at it, but at the end of the day, she tries to change for a boy.
Yeah.
And it's just not like, I know the whole point of the film is to show that doesn't happen, but it does happen. I know that
totally.
But it doesn't seem like that happens to Jade. She seems like she comes back and realizes that there are more important things, not just with the relationship, but it seems like with her family as well, like the relationship with mom, and just being a little bit friendlier as well. For example, because in the trailer she seemed quite cold at the beginning when she was, on the phone to Sophie, and but she seemed like she was trying to remain professional all the time, and it looks like she wants to try and let it go, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Jade, well, I really think the film is about relationships because it really ends focusing on the relationship she has in her life, and mainly with her own family and how she perceives them and herself in relation to them and her environment that she's living in. And yeah, I think it's a story really too of personal growth. We're watching her very business-like, very professional, very focused on her career. And then that's kind of being stripped away from her. And she has to, reestablish herself. She has to find kind of a new identity for herself. And and so it's really focused on those relationships. And yeah, there is a love interest, but I think you know, for her, it's really looking at her closest relationships, like with her mother, with her community that's back home, and her relationship to that. So yeah, it's really a story. It is a story about relationships, but I think also it's a story of personal growth, and we see Jade developing, you know, yeah, in that storyline, which is really interesting. I think that's a different take maybe than most chick flicks. Yeah, that we see.
I'm very excited to see it anyway. I have a quick game if you want to play one. A little
Sure, yeah.
Per se, based on famous love stories, shall we say. Some of them aren't traditional chick flicks, but I've added them in anyway, just because I love the films.
Okay.
So it's 1.5 to beat. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that a lot, or am I?
No, it's not.
Okay.
She wasn't a fan of chick flicks. She's more sci-fi, fantasy. So.
All right. Let's see if I can do this.
The bar is set. Yeah. Okay. So, what was Juliet's last name in Romeo and Juliet?
Oh gosh. Okay. So it was the Capulets, and it wasn't. I think she was a Capulet.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, she was.
I should know that one.
I was gonna say you've got it, but I wanted to see what you were gonna say. Yeah. What are Rosie's last words to Jack and Titanic?
Don't let go.
So
I don't know. I don't know.
It's I'll never let go.
I'll never let go. Okay. Yeah.
So that counts. That counts.
Half a point. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, half a point. So it's mentioned the notebook earlier. So how many letters did Noah write Ali in the notebook?
Oh gosh. Well, didn't he write like every day or every week? So I don't remember how long of a time period it was though. I'm gonna get, I don't know, 365. I think it was longer than a year though.
364. I'm gonna give you that.
Oh,
every day. I'm gonna give you that because I'm sure she comes back. She doesn't get the 365th letter because he didn't write it because she's there like a year after.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
That still counts.
That one was hard. Yeah.
Well, if you can't, you've already beat Dragon.
Yay!
But we'll carry on anyway. So, have you ever seen The Fault in Our Stars?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that.
I can't ask that question then. It doesn't matter. What about Twilight? Please tell me you've seen Twilight.
I have seen it.
Yeah. So when does Bella see Edward for the first time?
Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, like in the first one. Okay, I mean it was a while ago. From what I remember, doesn't he like enter the classroom like like in biology, like he comes in as like a student in the high school?
The scene that everyone always remembers is with the wind. There's a fan and she walks in and he like goes crazy because you can
smell. Oh yeah, and it's like,
that's the second time they met. The first time they met was, well, they saw each other, like all of his like brothers and sisters walk in together, and then he walks in on his own and she's like, who's that? And he's like, Edward Cullen, a proper like,
oh right, oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, see, all the Twilight fans are gonna be mad at me now.
When does Peter reveal that he first loved Katniss in the Hunger Games?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I know that one actually at all.
Have you seen the Hunger Games?
I think it was at the end. I haven't read the books.
It was
as a guess.
I can't even remember the answer. I think it was,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was when they were younger. He says that he loved it like in the games, like before they go to the games, but he meant it when the first day of school or something like that. That doesn't count anyway. We won't answer that question. I'll just.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I wouldn't know.
Like I didn't ask it.
Okay, we can skip it.
Does Mr. Darcy live in Pride and Prejudice?
Oh, where does he live? Oh gosh.
Stumped
Well,
a few-
doesn't he have like an estate that he lives in? Oh gosh, what is it called? Highgate? I don't know. I honestly don't remember. Oh, I should know this.
It begins with.
Yeah, I don't remember actually.
It begins with
I should know that. Begins with a P. Oh, I should know this one. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't remember. You're gonna have to. Yeah, I missed this one.
Pemberley.
Pemberley. Yeah.
My sister,
Yeah.
who is she's an actual English teacher, bearing in mind. I asked her that question yesterday, and she was borderline crying because she couldn't remember it. She was like, "I love this film. It's like a favorite film as well." But when someone puts you on the spot, it is difficult. So I don't.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I should know that. That's pretty bad. I should know that.
So
oh well.
You got 2.5.
Yay! Still winning, I think. So yeah.
You're in the lead so far. So I mean, the score.
That's good.
The questions they're not. Oh no, you're not. Yeah, you are 2.5. Some of them, like the Fault in Our Stars question, or like the Hunger Games, it's debatable on what a chick flick is. That's another question that I was meaning to ask you actually. Like, what would you define as a chick flick? Because obviously, it's difficult.
Yeah, I think the easiest explanation is if you were to put this on Netflix, would your guy friends want to watch it? And if they're all going to say no and it has a mostly female cast, I would probably call that a chick flick. I just noticed, whenever I put on a lot of these that are considered chick flicks, like a lot of my guy friends don't want to watch them, so they're too girly. So I don't know. I think also usually they're usually romantic comedies as well, as far as like genre, but it's usually a female lead. It's usually a romantic comedy, and I'd say like the general demographic of who would be watching it would be women. So it's very like catered and tailored to a female audience. Yeah. So the storylines are also, I think, very female centric as well. So
that was a good answer about the boys not wanting to watch it. Because I feel like compared to like the older generation, like my dad, for example, like if I was gonna put like Legally Blonde on, he'd be like, no, switch this off, I'm not watching it. I think we've lost her.
I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully we can cut it maybe at like one of the answers and then re-record maybe from the beginning of one of the questions that you asked me.
Yeah, I'm still recording it now, so
okay.
These things happen. It's just I might even leave it in. I don't know.
Yeah, really. I'm just gonna keep it on my laptop now because I think my phone is I'm getting all these notifications on my phone, and I think it's just causing the battery to drain. So we'll just do it on the laptop.
Do you want to answer the question again about? Oh, I was talking, wasn't I? So I'll do that again.
Yeah, you can just ask me the question again. That's fine.
Yeah. So I was talking about the difference, like it is progressing, the amount of like people that want to watch it that are boys, like compared to the older generation. My dad, for example, would not sit through it, or like my uncles and stuff. But I feel like some of my friends now are sort of like, it's like almost like a guilty pleasure. Like, they don't want to admit that they like it, but they do.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's interesting to think about why they don't want to admit to watching it, though. I think it is just because it's girly, but like I feel like it's still happening now, sort of thing. Is that what like for now is trying to do, like the film? Is it meant to like it sort of plays on the fact that boys won't want to watch it, so it's sort of like jokes about, like it is over the top on purpose, like it's meant
Yeah.
to be this like overly cringy stereotyped like film, I guess, just because if people aren't going to watch it, you may as well play up to the audience, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very tongue-in-cheek approach to it. You know, it's poking fun at this whole genre and this whole type of film. And yeah, just the whole chick flick romantic comedy genre, really. I think it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it's aware of that. It's aware that it's doing that. So I think for the viewer, I think it sort of amplifies all of the stereotypes anyways that you see in these films. And I think it actually makes it more entertaining that way. But you know, that could actually make it more enjoyable for a male viewer, because it's so, you know, exaggerated in that sense. But yeah, you know, I agree. I think, yeah, it's difficult to get male viewers really engaged in these types of films anyways. So maybe if it's more over the top, it's more exaggerated, it'll be more interesting, it'll be more comical to watch, because it's so self-aware of what it's trying to portray. Yeah, so, but yeah, I also, you know, just your comment too about it's kind of a guilty pleasure. I do believe guys like to watch these films. They're just, you know, they lose street cred and clout with their buddies, so they don't really want to admit that they like Twilight, or you know, that they'll sit and watch The Notebook all the way through.
They're actually good films, though. This is the thing, and like Mean Girls, it's a funny film, it's a comedy, but just because girls in the title, they won't watch it because they're like, no, it's not funny. Like it's relatable, but it definitely is. Like,
oh, it's totally relatable. Yeah.
Maybe like not the actual events happening in it, like people getting hit by a bus and stuff, but like everyone's had like beef, let's say.
Oh yeah. Well, there's always, I don't know. I mean, I can only speak from my own experience, but there were always cliques in high school, you know, even with boys, like they have their little cliques too, and groups, you know, and I don't know. I think that there's always kind of like a mean girl. If it's not like a group of them, there's that mean girl at school. And, you know, even with guys, there's a bully.
I was about to say, you can get mean boys as well. Like,
yeah, you can get mean boys as well. So yeah, I do think it has like a universal appeal. It's just, I think guys don't want to admit that they watch it, you know.
I've definitely caught a few people watching it sometimes.
Oh, me too. In Twilight, most definitely. I knew a few guy fans, you know.
Say Twilight, because my best friend and her boyfriend, they are obsessed with Twilight together. Like they're together, and he always tries to blame it on the fact that she makes him watch it. I'm like, why do you? Why do
you made me watch it. Yeah.
She did not at all.
And they own the books and read them all too. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm definitely Team Edward. I'm like, see, like he's so invested in it.
Yeah. And they pick a side, right? Like Team Edward, you know, or Team Jacob. Yeah.
Definitely. Another thing. It's not film, but it's still similar. Is, do you watch Love Island on TV? When it's
I don't. Yeah, I know of it. I know about the show. Yeah.
My uncle, like, he'll sit there and he'll slag it off. He'll say, "Oh, what is this rubbish? Get it off the TV. I'm not watching it." And then 10 minutes later, he'll be like, "Oh right, so are those two like a couple?" Or you know, she leaves. And
that's definitely a guilty pleasure. I mean, I know personally even so many people who watch that and they don't want to admit that they watch it, but they do.
Trash TV, but it's like really addictive sort of thing.
Yeah, well, it's really successful, you know. I mean, I think people just don't want to admit that they watch it and enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, because if people didn't enjoy it, then it's on like its 6th season now or something. Like it wouldn't keep on getting. And same with Twilight, really. You know, there's a huge fan base
for that whole series. And I mean, I've known personally guys who were really into that. They own they own the books and read them all and everything. And, when they're on campus or at school, like they don't want to admit it, that they're fans. And, but yeah, that has a huge fan base too. But it's always funny, like people never want to admit that they like the movies or that they read the books, even though it was I think an international bestseller, the books alone. And then it was a huge film franchise as well.
It's still got like a massive following even now, like years. It was like
totally. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the fans are out there, I feel like they don't want to admit it, or maybe if they're in the right company, then they want to admit it.
It's the same. I'm just gonna stereotype the boys now. I feel like it's pretty much the same. Apart from like Marvel or like Quentin Tarantino films. Like they're acceptable to watch. Or films by male directors, which I've noticed, like Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg and stuff. If it's directed by a man, that's okay. But like Little Women by like Greta Gerwig, never. Like I don't know personally boys that will watch it. I'm being really stereotypical now, but it's only because we're talking about stereotypes and stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting you mentioned that. Well, actually, speaking of, films that have like a female lead or could even be called a chick flick and actually have like male fans, Wonder Woman, the first one that came out, was a great film. Female lead, could be called the chick flick just because it's like a female heroine,
Yeah.
But gosh, I know so many guys that really like that movie. They're like, that was actually really good. It was like better than what I expected. And it was like a pretty good movie. And even like big celebrities have praised it, that it was really well done. And you know what? It has a female director. So
yeah, exactly. So moving forward, like that's the thing. It is getting better, but I think there's still work to do. Like with the amount of women behind the scenes in film, and how they're portrayed on screen as well. I think that it is better, but it's not.
Not quite there yet. Yeah,
not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But I think it's exciting to see what's going to happen. I think what people will take from it and change, I guess.
Yeah, if it starts a conversation and some dialogue, I think that's a great start and what For Now can do. Especially with, I think more and more women entering the film industry, behind the scenes and writing and directing and all of this. I think, if that could generate a conversation, and maybe like a critical analysis of women in film, I think that's great. I think the film's achieved its goal. I think that's a first step.
Definitely. Well, it's been nice speaking to you anyway.
Yeah.
Let Dragonia know about the scores.
Great. Yeah.
You won, and then I don't know, maybe I'll have to send you something.
Do I get a prize or?
Yeah, honestly, I'll have
an
to
award.
Post a little trophy.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed that I couldn't name Mr. Darcy's residence, but
oh, don't worry. It's still today.
Yeah, but I'm glad I could answer some of those. So I'm still gonna pat myself on the back there.
Well, I'm excited to see the final film anyway, and good luck with everything what you're doing as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.